Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, welcome. I'm your girl Jalisa Shaveh, and today's video has been highly anticipated, and I'm so ready to share this story with you guys. So as you can see from the title, I will be sharing my story on how I manifested $27,400. Let me tell you right away, this story is very true. It cannot get any realer than what it really is. I want you to know that I am telling you this story because I want you to be encouraged, and I really want you to know the power of speaking over your life, the power of believing, and the power of manifesting. So I am going to start from the jump. I'm going to be letting you guys all the way in. So get your popcorn, turn the lights off, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. But before we get into the story, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel for more videos. And I also wrote down like everything that I wanted to cover in the story, you guys, because it's so important that you have like very important details and know how I manifested $27,000. If you don't follow me on Instagram, go ahead and follow me. It's just like my YouTube name, Jalisa Shaveh. And if you do follow me, then you know that I posted a few clips from me winning $27,000. Well, that is how I got the money. That is how the money came to me. But I'm going to be letting you know in the story exactly how I knew this money was coming, how I claimed this money, and how I manifested this money into my life. So it was the beginning of 2019, kind of like really end of 2018 into 2019 up until like June. I was struggling with my car. The end of 2018 was just really hard. I had just like started working. I was doing a bunch of freelance makeup, like really out here in LA hustling, but I just wasn't making enough money for all of my bills, and my car note was one of the biggest struggles. My life was a struggle with my car. Not only was my car towed because it wasn't registered for California yet, but I also got a boot because of all of my LA tickets, and I had a crack in my windshield. My tires kept going flat because my tires were completely out of whack, and my car note was due. So all of these things were like happening at once, and it was over, you know, a period of time of just months of just struggling, trying to keep my car up to maintenance. I had to get oil changed. And I was just like really going through it with my car for some reason. Every time I got in my car, you guys, like no lie, I would just cry because it almost came to a point where my car was about to get repossessed. And I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where the money would come from. I didn't know how the heck I was going to fix this situation. I had my car since 2014, and the way I was able to move and really elevate in my life and even chase my dreams was because of my car. My car got me to Texas, and then my car got me from Texas to California. So I've always had my car. I've always been able to get up and go whenever I needed to, and just to know that my life was elevating, and I'm in LA doing so many celebrities' makeup, and you know, just to know that in the midst of all that joy, every time I got done with like a major celebrity's makeup, somebody would feel really grateful. Like I was grateful, but somebody would feel like, you know, let's go celebrate, let's go have a drink, let's like turn up, like I just did so-and-so's makeup, or I just connected with so-and-so. And for me, you guys, like during this time where I was struggling with my car, I wasn't even able to really focus and see the good that I was doing. I wasn't able to celebrate those moments because after, you know, doing the celebrity's makeup, it still didn't change the fact that I was getting into a car that I didn't know if I was gonna have tomorrow or not. And for a young adult who's really moving around and has the freedom to move around and do what they want, that's a really hard pill to swallow, knowing that your car could possibly get taken away at any time and you would have to spend lots of money on public transportation. And then I carry my kid, like, you know, it would have been so bad, and it was a really hard thing to deal with. I actually dealt with my first panic attack in the process of thinking I'm about to lose my car, because I was just overwhelmed. Like, I just kept playing scenarios in my head, like, oh my God, like, Lord, what am I gonna do without my car? Like, you know, I need my car. Like, I have 6 a.m. call times. I don't need to be all the way out in the middle of nowhere on a bus. And what if the bus doesn't go? I was just playing like all these scenarios in my head, and I put myself into a state of panic, and I had my first panic attack, like a real life panic attack. It was really scary, you guys. And to know that all of these things were going on, I stayed still. I stayed like faithful. I did not stop praying. Every night I faithfully pray on my knees. And I just thank God, you know, for everything that I have. And even during this time of about to lose my car, I also, every time I see my car, I would just say, thank you, God. Thank you for my car. Like, thank you for my car. You know, I need my car. Like, thank you. You know, it could get taken away tomorrow, but today I'm thankful for it. And I just stayed faithful to who I am. I didn't know when, where, or what was going to happen, but I believe something better would happen. Either, you know, at the time I was believing maybe I need to give my car up. Maybe it's just too much for me to handle right now, and I'll get the dream car that I want. Or maybe, you know, it's something that I have to sacrifice and learn how to take public transportation. You know, I'm just like thinking of all these things, like what's the reason, you know, like, am I going through this? And I just stayed persistent and faithful to, you know, what I believed in, and I didn't really let it bother me. I worried some, but every night when I lay down, I told myself, you guys, I always tell myself to give it to God and let him handle it, and that's exactly what he did. So it was like closer to May or June, you guys, whenever they had like the biggest, whenever they had like the last biggest Powerball. There's a 7-Eleven down my street, and this was like in May or June. My aunt had texted me, was like, hey, go get a Powerball ticket. And I was like, you know, I don't know how to play lottery. I don't know what numbers to choose. And she was like, just get randomized numbers. And I'm like, okay, I can do that. So I went down to 7-Eleven. I was just like, hey, can I get a Powerball ticket? Like, I really was just like, did not know what I was doing. And of course, she printed out a ticket. She gave me some randomized numbers. And all of this stuff was going on still with my car. Like, didn't know what was going to happen. And when I got that ticket from 7-Eleven and I started to walk home, because it's like right down the street, it was like an instant like rush. It was like a big weight had lifted off my shoulders, and I instantly felt like a winner. It was so crazy because it was to the point where I was like, oh my gosh, I think I won the lottery. Like, I really felt it in my soul that I had won the lottery. Like, something told me, like, girl, you won this lottery. Like, I think it was probably like 31 something million dollars. Like, seriously, I felt like I had won $31 million. So I instantly came home and I started to manifest and meditate on winning this lottery. I would pull up like meditation videos, motivational videos, like manifesting videos, and I would dedicate like so many hours into manifesting this lottery. And I just knew, like, this is mine. Like, I have to claim it. I have to put myself, you know, in the state of mind that I won. And I really truly believed that I had won. I called my cousin, was like, Melvin, I won the lottery. Like, I had really felt in my heart that I had won the lottery. And I told him I won the lottery before they had actually called the numbers. So as I'm speaking to him within this week, you know, I'm just like telling him like everything, what I'm going to do with the money, like what debts I'm going to pay off, like what I'm going to buy, what I'm going to save, like everything. I'm telling him everything I'm going to do with this money, guys. No lie. Melvin will vouch it for me. We had this conversation the whole first week I had that lottery ticket. So after spending time manifesting and meditating on these lottery numbers, the day comes where they call the lottery ticket numbers. I was at work on this day, so I was like so ready to come home and see my numbers up on the screen, because I literally had visualized that whole week that they had called my numbers. I was so confident that my numbers were going to be called. And the day that they called the numbers, I came home and I looked at my ticket, I checked online, and my numbers were not the winning numbers. But for some reason, even after figuring out what the winning numbers were, I still felt like a winner. I still felt like I had this money. And it's really something I can't really explain truly through this video, but for my believers and for my dreamers, my manifestors, like, you know exactly the feeling. So I didn't get discouraged. I was still like, something better is coming, something greater is about to happen. Like, I really feel like, you know, I'm about to get some money, even if it was just enough money to cover my car note for the month or to get caught up on my car note. Like, I felt like I was about to get some money. You know, I just knew it was going to be life-changing, and it was just so many signs around me that I was about to get some money. Like, I was coming out of my struggle. So I played the lottery the beginning of May. On May 20th, I received an email saying that a game show was coming back for their season 3, and they were casting for people to be on the game show. So I was like, I mean, it won't hurt to, you know, at least submit and see what's the criteria for auditioning and what's the criteria for casting or whatever. So I went ahead and submitted, and I kid you not, you guys, after I applied to be on the show, they hit me back like 2 days later and was like, hi Jalisa, this is so-and-so, and we want to start the process of you auditioning to be on the game show. So I knew in my heart that I would end up on the game show because, you know, I was everything that they were looking for. I was really charismatic, you know, and I gave them the energy that I know that they wanted to make it on the game show. So I had a good amount of confidence that I was going to be on the game show. So after starting the process of auditioning, I received an email on May 31st. I had a call back from the casting company that I had became a semi-finalist to be on the game show. So in this casting process, I did not know like it was auditioning and then you become a semi-finalist and then you become a finalist to get on the game show. So after they told me I was a semi-finalist, I was like, okay, so I'm like one step away from being a finalist to be on the game show. And the day that we had to be on set for this game show, there was like 10 of us and we were all semi-finalists. And they told us only a select few of you guys are going to be able to go on the show today. Whew. When I say anxiety was real, but I did not show it. So as we're in the group, we're doing like paperwork and playing games and stuff, and none of us knows who's going to be on the show. We don't know what's about to happen. Any of us could go home at any time. So after spending a couple of hours there on set, the casting producer came and got me and this other guy named Angel, and she was like, grab all of your things, you're leaving. And people were like, you know, oh, are they going home? Like, what's going on? And she was like, I can't say anything. Just grab your things because you're not coming back. So we grab all of our stuff. And at this moment, I'm feeling very scared. I'm feeling like, you know, I'm worried a little bit, but I didn't show it. I just kept a very positive spirit. And we started walking on the lot. So we were walking towards the parking garage, which is where I parked my car, and I was like, oh my gosh, as we got closer, I was like, oh my gosh, like, I didn't make it. Like, I'm really about to go home. And we come to like an instant stop, and she turns around and she's like, what are you gonna do when you win the money? My mouth fell to the floor. I was like, wait, so like we're about to go on the show? And she was like, what are you gonna do when you win the money? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I started screaming. Like, I wanted to cry, but my makeup was way too cute to be crying. At that moment, everything had changed. When I say like in a blink of an eye, everything had changed. It changed because this was my opportunity. This was my breakthrough. At this moment, I was not even worried about if I was gonna win. We didn't know how much we could have won. We don't know how much the money, the prizes was. Like, we didn't know nothing. So I was not worried about the money. I just knew as soon as she said, what was I going to do when I win the money? All I seen myself was on TV with all of these celebrities and me being who I am on TV, on VH1, on Hip Hop Squares. Like, I'm thinking about Ice Cube and T.I., like all these celebrities flying through my head. Like, she said B. Simone and Pretty V was gonna be there. Like, that's all I was thinking about. Like, I'm really about to be on a game show on TV with all of my favorite celebrities. Like, what? So while we're backstage, like I'm looking at B Simone, looking at Pretty V. We really can't talk to each other at this time, but we're all backstage just like chilling, y'all. Like I'm right beside B Simone and Pretty V. Like my environment had changed so fast, and I'm getting emotional because it's just like playing in the back of my head. How fast like things were going for me. Like my life had changed in a blink of an eye. I have goosebumps so big right now. They're prepping us to go on set. They're like telling us like, this is where you're gonna sit when you walk out on the stage. This is like what the cameras you're gonna look at. And I'm just like, this whole time I'm just like taking everything in. Like, this is my life. I have dreamed of this. Like, I was sitting in the audience doing audience work not even a month ago. Swear, not at this show, because it had just came back and we were filming the first episode. But I was just sitting in the audience at different game shows, at different shows a month, not even a month ago, saying that's gonna be me one day. Like I'm paying attention to everything. Like, how should I carry myself? How should I act? Because I see myself right there on stage. I'm gonna be on the other side one day, and that's exactly what was happening. So the show started, and like when they introduced us, like I came out like dancing, you know what I'm saying, like just being myself. And the whole time, like I'm sitting on the couch, I'm just like happy, you know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't thinking about nothing. I was just like, oh my gosh, like mind blown. Like, what is really happening right now? I played with Pretty V, and then Angel played with B Simone, and there were 2 rounds in the game. If you did not watch it, I would try to find a link so that you guys can see the full game show in the description box. But if not, I definitely have clips on my Instagram. Make sure you go check out my IGTV and my Instagram, because I do have clips on there. In the first round, before they asked the last question, it could have been Angel's game or it could have been my game. If B Simone had got the question right for him, he would have been going on to the second round, and I would have been done with the game. The last question of the first round, B Simone got the question wrong, which means it was automatically my game. It was automatically me, like I was the winner. And B Simone got the question wrong, you guys. Shout out to you, girl, for getting the question wrong, because if you had got it right, I would have been going home. So after she gets the question wrong, like as soon as she got the wrong buzzer, I went berserk. Like I had won the game. I went crazy, right? So we go to commercial break, and the casting producer comes and get me, and she's like, you're going to the second round. Like they started prepping me for the bonus round, which was the second round. And she was like, it's up to you from this point on. The first round, Pretty V was speaking for me. She was playing for me. She was making all the decisions. I was just there like rooting her on, like, yeah, girl, you got this, you know? And I was her cheerleader, but we were on the same team. The bonus round was literally up to me. It was up to me. So they prepped me, and they're telling me like, you just got to pick 3 boxes, and out of the 3 boxes, one of those celebrities are the answer that we need. I can't even explain the feeling. It was like a dream. Like I literally felt like if somebody had to like shrugged me or like pinched me, I would have woke up from a dream and be like, wow, that felt so real. That's how it felt, you guys. When K Michelle stood up, confetti just went everywhere. In that moment, all I could think about was my manifestation just happened. And that really shows me that manifesting works. You can never dream too big. Even the impossible that you think is impossible can really happen, you guys. This moment for me was truly life-changing, and not life-changing in just my finances, but not even a month before this was happening, you guys, I could have lost my car. And not saying that losing my car would have been a failure, but just imagine if I couldn't even keep up with putting gas in my car or keeping up with my car. Just imagine everything else I was mentally dealing with. As a young adult, I was dealing with a lot of growing pains, you know, like about to lose my car, not being able to pay my bills, like, you know, having to borrow money from everybody eating everything under the sun because I was depressed, like not knowing what I was going to do, or thinking about how I was going to let myself down. But my life had changed in literally 24 hours, you guys. And I kid you not, like, I know it's because I manifested this, and I know it's because God loves me and He favors me, and He knew exactly what He was doing. And it's also because I didn't give up. I didn't stop. I didn't let the fear of losing my car scare me to the point where I felt like I was going to have to start over or give up. Whether or not I had even thought about the lottery, this was going to happen. But because, of the circumstances, my auntie just telling me go get a Powerball ticket because they play the lottery, because of that, that really gave me hope. That really, like, actually made me think, like, what would I do if I won the lottery? What would I do if I won all of this money? And I instantly put myself in a state of mind where I had believed in my heart, even if it was a lie to myself. I had truly believed with all of my heart that I had won the lottery. So that goes to say, whatever it is that you do want, whether it's money, whether it's love, a job, already talk to yourself, like, and make yourself think about how you would feel if you had that job, if you had that man that you want. Like, freaking force yourself to think about it. How would you feel? How would it make you feel? Like, think like it's already happening. Really focus on it. Like, dedicate a lot of your time throughout the day just like praying and manifesting on it and asking God, about it, and talking to Him about it, and think about how it would make you feel and what would you do. Like, that right there is believing. Most people who don't believe in something, or if they were, not worried about making something come to pass, they'll think about it in a second and they'll instantly kick it out their mind, because they're like, no, I'm not worthy of that. No, that's too big for me. That's impossible. Like, I could never do that. Those are, I'm not going to say non-believers, but those are people who have very, very little faith or no faith. And you only need the faith the size of a mustard seed to believe that anything could happen, you guys. Google what a mustard seed is and think about how much faith you really need. It's not something physical that you have to have, you guys. You just have to really believe that anything can happen. You have to be crazy enough, as my Uncle Rod would say, crazy enough to believe in the unthinkable. You have to be crazy enough to believe it. My uncle always tell me, if you told me that you was going to build a house tomorrow, that you was going to build a whole house tomorrow, I would be crazy enough to believe it. Make yourself crazy enough to believe something that you don't think would ever happen, or you think would take years to happen. When you make yourself crazy enough to believe in that, you have mastered faith. You have mastered faith, and nobody can take that away. This story was really to motivate you and encourage you to start speaking over your life. Start speaking things into existence. Start believing in yourself and believing in God, because He can change your whole situation in a matter of time. But it's only if you let Him in it, and if you believe in it. If you want these things and you don't believe He's going to make it happen because of whatever reason, He's not going to give it to you, because you have no faith. So don't receive it and then the next day you don't get it, and you start speaking down on yourself and you start saying crazy stuff like, that's never going to happen. It's taking too long. You have to ask, receive, and be patient. Here it says in due time, and I would read it and I would just know, in all this frustration and all these things that I'm dealing with, in due time, I'm still going to be somewhere else. I'm still going to be in a better place. So that goes to say, just ask, receive, and believe. So my steps in manifesting would definitely be to find out exactly it is something that you want to manifest. Find one thing at a time. You can do it, like, you can manifest multiple things in a day, but when you are manifesting, like, focus on one thing at a time. Ask for it, pray for it, receive it, and then leave it alone. So for instance, with my money, on my goals list, I have short-term goals and I have long-term goals. And my long-term goal was to have a billionaire lifestyle and to be financially free. So for me, I would ask for a billionaire lifestyle and to be financially free. I would ask for these things, I would pray for these things, I would focus on these things, nothing else. I didn't want to be a millionaire, a thousandaire. I want to be a billionaire. I would only focus on being a billionaire. I would only focus on how I would feel if I was financially free. Where would I go? What would I do? Who would I pay? Like all of that. I would think about that. And after I asked for them and I'm specific about what I want, pray on it, I received it. I started to mentally make myself think I already had these things, and then I would leave it alone. And when I say leave it alone, I don't mean like don't think about it no more, don't focus on it. Leaving it alone, I just gave it to God. I was like, I don't know when, I don't know where, I don't know how, but it's gonna come, and I'm just gonna focus on how I'm gonna feel when it does come. So I really hope that my story encouraged you guys. I hope my story motivated you guys, and I hope that my story really gave you the push that you need to start manifesting today. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below in the comment section. And also, I would love to hear if you have manifested anything into your life, whether it's big or small. I would love to hear your stories, love to hear your testimonies. So comment below if you have a manifesting story and tell me something about what you manifested into your life. Also, I have a couple of more manifesting stories. If you guys like the stories, please let me know in the comments below, and I'll be sure to share more with you guys and let you in a little bit more now that I'm comfortable with you and I've cried my eyes out with you. Let me know anything in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel. Peace.